Just because many screenwriters, directors, and stars are way to the left doesn't mean that films with libertarian themes and messages don't get made. Here are 5 great movies made over the past 25 years that any libertarian will enjoy. This Pixar film, directed by Brad Bird, is so full of speeches extolling individualism, personal greatness, and self-fulfillment, it sometimes sounds like it was scripted by Ayn Rand.
You sly dog! You got me monologuing! I can't believe it.
In fact, Rand is clearly part of the inspiration for the character of Edna Bird.
No kicks!
The libertarianism of the film exists on at least 2 levels, one obvious and one a little more hidden. But even the supervillain in The Incredibles is a creature of self-invention and self-improvement. While the Incredibles are born with their powers, Syndrome is a normie who worships Mr. Incredible and is desperate to be his sidekick.
I know all your moves, your crime-fighting style, favorite catchphrases, everything! I'm your #1 fan!
When Mr. Incredible dismisses young Buddy, he uses that disillusionment to fire his ambitions to create weapons and powers via innovative technology. Like an animated version of Richard Nixon, Syndrome's ambitions ultimately get the best of him.
I mean, after all, I am your biggest fan.
But he just may be the real hero of the movie, at least for those of us without naturally occurring superpowers. The Incredibles are returning after a 14-year hiatus, with a sequel hitting theaters in June, so we'll see them again soon. French-Canadian director Denis Arcand's brilliant sequel to The Decline of the American Empire is the single best depiction of the depredations of socialized medicine.
À l'époque, j'ai voté pour la nationalisation des hôpitaux. Je suis capable d'assumer les conséquences de mes actes.
Il y a juste les idiots qui changent pas d'opinion.
The healthcare system in the movie is so sclerotic that the movie's protagonist, a retired academic named Remy, cannot even score the drugs he needs to commit suicide until his estranged banker son buys them on the black market.
On a tout été. C'était invraisemblable. Séparatiste, indépendantiste, souverainiste.
Even more disturbing is the moment when the terminally ill Remy and his former university colleagues admit that their intellectual faddishness led them to embrace every awful left-wing ism of the past 30 years, despite their often massive human tolls.
Maoïste?
Dans le crétinisme, mon vieux, on peut pas descendre plus bas.
None of those drugs have been approved by the FDA.
Screw the FDA. I'm going to be DOA.
This based on a true story movie about a rodeo rider and a drag queen riding around the U.S. Food and Drug Administration brought home Oscars not just for its 2 leads, but the film's makeup artist, who reportedly worked on a budget of just $250. Set in the 1980s, Matthew McConaughey plays Ron Woodruff, a boozy roughneck who is given 30 days to live after being diagnosed with AIDS. Faced with such a death sentence, he schools himself on a wide variety of treatments, first in Mexico and then all over the world. With the help of a cross-dressing party girl named Rayon, Woodruff skirts FDA prohibitions against importing, using, and selling unapproved drugs by creating a buyer's club in which members pay a monthly membership and assume all risks.
I'm afraid that you are nothing more than a common drug dealer, so if you'll excuse us, we would like...
Well, I'm a drug dealer. Now you're the fucking drug dealer. I mean, goddamn, people are dying.
The depiction of indifference to patient suffering and bureaucratic quashing of medical freedom, even for people who are certain to die, is unsparing, deeply moving, and totally inspirational, especially now that even Donald Trump has endorsed right-to-try legislation that would allow terminally ill patients access to non-approved medicines.
My name's Joy, by the way.
Jennifer Lawrence became a megastar playing the anti-government rebel Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games movies. And while there's no shortage of libertarian sentiment coursing through that trilogy, it's actually a quieter movie starring Lawrence that fully embodies libertarian virtues of hard work, commercial innovation, and dogged entrepreneurship. In Joy, Lawrence plays real-life miracle mop inventor Joy Magano, who helped make cleaning your floors a little bit easier and better while becoming wealthy at the same time. The film is nothing less than a paean to capitalism's genius at allowing self-expression. As the story begins, Joy is supporting a wide variety of family layabouts while barely making ends meet, but she is firm with her daughter about what really counts. In a dramatic scene with Bradley Cooper, who plays an executive at a home shopping network, Joy summarizes in a few sentences what it took Joseph Schumpeter, Friedrich Hayek, and Milton Friedman whole books to say.
You said to me that David Selznick, the son of immigrants, married Jennifer Jones, an all-American girl from Oklahoma, because in America, all races and all classes can meet and make whatever opportunities they can, and that is what you feel when you reach into people's homes with what you sell.
As former Reason editor Virginia Postrel wrote of Joy, the film acknowledges the wealth-creating value of incremental improvements, even in the most mundane items. When it was first released in 1984, Ghostbusters quickly became the most successful comedy in film history. In many ways, the movie was perfectly in sync with the Reagan Revolution's valorization of business and demonization of government.
You've never been out of college. You don't know what it's like out there. I've worked in the private sector. They expect results.
Ghostbusters begins with a team of paranormal investigators getting kicked out of Columbia University for, well, being bullshit artists. They're forced to start their own risky business venture, filling what they believe is an underserved market niche.
We're ready to believe you!
Even though New York is literally being invaded by evil spirits, the true villain of the movie is not the otherworldly demon Gozer, but an Environmental Protection Agency bureaucrat named Walter Peck.
I want this man arrested! Captain, these men are a criminal violation of the Environmental Protection Act! And this explosion is a direct result of it! Your mother!
But of course the Ghostbusters ultimately persevere, save the city, and turn a good buck in the process.
We're going to have to ask you for 4 big ones, $4,000 for that. But we are having a special this week on proton charging.
Well, what do you think?
That was totally wicked!
It's by no means an exhaustive list, so add your personal favorites in the comments. And don't forget to tell us just how wrong we are either.